Good morning. Hope you're having a fantastic Monday morning, Monday evening. To any Australians, I'm just going to double check the sound's working because last time we did this, guess what happened? The sound was not working. So I do believe it is now, but I will double check and then we'll get going today. I changed the title. It is not a brief history of menopause. It is a bit of delayed gratification, one that you've never heard before. Um, so basically, what we have is we have a lot of people who, when we speak to on the phone, they have a worry that they will not be able to self-regulate. You know, and a lot of people in general worry about humanity's ability, or let's say inability, to self-regulate. The ability to have whatever we want in an instant effectively weakens our self-regulation muscles. Uh, a lot of goals, most goals can be reached. Most realistic goals can be reached, but they don't happen by accident. They also don't get realized in an instant. Goal achievement requires the ability to delay gratification in favor of more desirable rewards at a later time. And into this is I'm not going to have this chocolate bar now because the bigger reward is me losing 10 kilos, feeling bloody fantastic. You know, Now I know that maybe self-regulation might not be at the top of the lists of our strengths, but it is all within us, right? It can grow like any other strengths. There's a series of exercises that you can do. There's delayed gratification exercises, and effectively, we've found that one of the easiest ways to begin exercising your, let's say, delay muscles is by practicing mindfulness to undo this sort of autopilot thinking. The more aware that we become of our automatic behavioral reactions to these impulses that we're receiving, the better we are prepared uh, when we need to delay those impulses. Interrupting that kind of default mode requires a lot of energy. It does, and it can be quite uncomfortable at first. It can, but it does make us more mindful of our behavior and our reactions. Now, another way to exercise delayed gratification is to use is the use of your strengths. Now, a great way to bring forward a kind of a lower strength. Imagine your willpower is pretty low. Let's say delayed gratification muscle is low. You know, a low. Imagine that's a low strength for you. So what you want to do is you want to use a core strength to bring that up, right? So if self-regulation is on maybe the lower portion of your strengths list, a core strength can pull it forward. Now, for instance, um, somebody who has, love as one of their top three VIA character strengths. I'll talk to you about VIA in a second. They can use that strength to tow self-regulation forward, like a big lorry pulling forward you know, a trailer. I don't know, or like a 4x4 pulling a big trailer. A big trailer is in this metaphor. The big trailer is your self-regulation. An example of that could be saying, "I love you too much to eat this cookie right now." You know, I love you too much to eat this cookie right now. Let me just quickly go over what VIA is because it's basically a character personality assessment. Now, these character strengths are a core and foundational part of who we are. They're a collection of positive individual character traits that we all possess and that are linked to our development, our well-being, and our life satisfaction. They are our key capabilities influencing how we think, how we act, how we feel, and representing what we value in ourselves and other people. And this kind of VIA character personality assessment is big in the psychology world. It's a scientific instrument for measuring our strengths, and it's widely used in a lot of academia, a lot of corporate, and many other settings, including this one. And effectively, what it is you have strengths and virtues, and there's 24 strengths, and they're categorized into six classes of virtues. Um, There's transcendence, and that is the appreciation of excellence and beauty, gratitude, hope, spirituality, and humor. And sort of as a virtue, this transcendence connects us through, like, connects us to the world around us in a really meaningful way. That's one. Now, I'm going to show you where you can kind of do this for free. To do this test, it's pretty cool. Then you have wisdom. It's curiosity, that's creativity, that's perspective, that's the love of learning, that is judgment. These strengths are kind of useful in helping us learn and gather knowledge, hence wisdom. You have humanity, you have social intelligence, you have love, kindness. Humanity strengths come into play by helping us build and maintain positive, warm relationships with others. Right? Then we have courage, we have bravery, zest, honesty, perseverance. These emotional strengths empower us to tackle adversity and how we tend to work through it. Then we have temperance, and temperance is like, it's self-regulation, it's prudence, it's humility, it's forgiveness. Temperance strength is interesting because it helps us manage habits and protect against excess, right? And that's including managing, and overcoming vices. So if your vice is chocolate, or like one individual I just spoke to, just don't use some coke, right? And you have, let's say, low temperance, it's low on your strengths list, then you're going to find it a bit difficult to manage that habit and to reduce. Well, you're just going to not be able to kind of resist it yet. So we need to build that temperance up. The last one is justice. It's teamwork. It's leadership. It's fairness, and these kind of strengths we relate to those around us in our social or kind of group situations. But they're all individual character strengths and virtues, and they're measured by that kind of self-report, which I'm going to show you now quickly. Just share it on screen. Cool. This is it. So it's a free survey. Basically, what it looks like is, if I go to the top, you get to know your greatest strengths survey. You just literally sign up. It's free. Sample survey questions. So being able to come up with new and different ideas is one of my strong points. And you'll just select one of these multiple ideas. What sounds more like you? Super simple. Super simple. So yeah, um, moving back to that. So like, imagine we're talking about that cookie, right? One of the examples of using your strengths to toe the party line is saying, I love you too much to eat that cookie right now. You know, Another way to bolster kind of a lower strength is by using it in a new way every single day. So, and it feels quite difficult and frankly, quite inauthentic at first because like just doesn't seem natural, but it's got long term rewards, right? And a few steps to build that lower strength, like self regulation. If you just can't stop eating the pastries, can't stop eating the chocolates, is number one, choose a strength you'd like to build. You know, number two is create a visual cue. Number three is make that's four. Number three is make a strengths use as part of your daily routine. Now we'll give examples in a second. Number four is give yourself a reward when you successfully use it. Now, let's say you want to reduce screen time. You know, let's say I'm spending too much time on TikTok, doing absolute nonsense, right? Firstly, you gotta have awareness. You gotta monitor your distractions first. Your phone, your TV, your internet might be a good place to start. If you want to reduce screen time, get away from laptop, TV, phone, or at least be aware of how long you spend on them. I have an app that monitors usage. And I can see how I'm spending my time for my workday, my productivity, and also I have a newsfeed block on my computer. So when I'm at my laptop working, I don't see cat pictures and stuff like that. That could distract me. Yeah. So then what you do is then you will start to kind of eliminate objects of temptation. Um, it's a lot. It's a much easier to avoid. Um, junk food, for example, when it isn't in our home, if we have to, like, rain in here today, if we have to go out in the rain and go and get that, let's say, suboptimal food, junk food, then we are going to think twice about it compared to if it's in our house. You know, the next time something upsets you, an example could be is you try to control your emotions. All right, instead of whatever the situation is, instead of reacting straight away, pause for 5 seconds, focus, think about the choices that you have in handling the situation. When we take a few moments to digest the reality of the situation, imagine your partner didn't take the bins out. Said he would. I know we're guilty of that quite often. Didn't take the bins out, and you're like, bloody hell, Dave, come on. 5 seconds. Take 5 seconds. Focus on the choices that you have and how you want to handle that situation. Because when you actually digest your emotions, when you actually think, what options do I have available to me? It's a lot easier to make those clear decisions in that real time. Take 5 seconds, just analyze the situation, and then react. As soon as if you react immediately from the initial, the initial problem or the initial thing, it's the same with chocolate. If you take 5 seconds, is that going to be something that's going to serve me right now? If it's Jack Daniels and Coke, is that something that I really want right now? Is it going to serve me right now? Is it looking after the best needs of future me? More often than not, it's no. Sometimes in social occasions, it might be. But this 5 seconds or so of reflection is really helping you toe that party line. It's really helping you kind of build your delayed gratification muscle. And this is the thing that I think a lot of people struggle with initially. It's like they've had, let's say, suboptimal food for a while. They come into the program, and then they're like, okay, I'm really struggling with this particular food. They're struggling with delayed gratification stuff. They want to, because it's a habitual thing that they've taught that they can have chocolate whenever they want, and it's got that individual to maybe 10 kilos overweight. Those sort of habits weren't serving you. That's what got you to here. So now it's time to build the self, um, let's say, self regulation muscle, delayed gratification muscle. It's time to build that so we can actually achieve something absolutely meaningful in 2022. I want to go deeper on delayed gratification, but I am cognizant of the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to have this as a two-part um, series. I think that I love talking about mindset stuff. I love talking about delayed gratification. Uh, it's just amazing. Like I'll add a part two to this. I'll add a part two to this, and we'll talk about that next week. Awesome. That is it. That is part one. Let's say I'll change the title. Because I like to keep these between 10 and 15 minutes, so you can watch it and then go. Um, yeah, next week we'll talk about how to kind of practice delayed gratification in daily life. I think that I always like to give you actionable stuff, actionable tasks, steps, plans straight off the back of this. But for this one, I want to talk about just kind of awareness of it, like awareness of self-regulation, awareness that you can build delayed gratification. So if you are really bad at social occasions, like maybe have 4 social occasions, you just can't control yourself. Tune in next week. It's gonna be good. Awesome. Uh, I will leave you. Have a fantastic week. I'll speak to you soon, and see you later. Bye bye.